high-tech oils. Available from Auto One, Sprint Auto Parts and all leading independent auto stores.
The second round of the 2015 KUMHO Tyres Australian V8 Touring Car Series welcomes father and son duo Peter and Alex Rollo, who have made the long trip over from WA.
Today's probably a one-off for us. We brought our car over from Perth about a month ago to get Alex in the seat and get him some practice at Winton. But because it was over here, we thought we'd enter it and have a two-car team. Alex has always had a love for motorsport. We got him into karting probably about 4 or 5 years ago. We decided to test him in the V8 last year.
I debuted in the V8 Touring Car Series at Sandown. We got qualified 4th. The track was a bit damp, but yeah, we're pretty happy with the result, but the races didn't go to plan.
All eyes are on the 14-year-old V8 youngster, but how does it feel to be racing with his dad?
Having Dad in the team, it's good because we can compare our data. Also give him a bit of crap because I'm faster, but yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's pretty cool racing the same circuit as Alex. He's basically like any other 14-year-old, pretty immature, but when he's on the racetrack, he definitely increases in maturity and he listens to every word that anyone tells him and he's always improving. So, yeah, I'm hoping he's going to go a long way.
And with family bragging rights at a high in the Rollo team, does it up the stakes to beat each other?
Yeah, definitely. One of my friends at school bet me $10 that I wouldn't beat him, so trying to earn a bit of money at school.
Alex has definitely got much more natural ability than me, but yeah, look, I'm just here to have some fun.
This year we're just trying to learn as much as possible, make the most of our opportunity, and yeah, try to get a few podiums and even a win. That'd be awesome.
With his son fighting for a podium position here this weekend, Peter's got one final message.
Alex, you better be up there, buddy.
No pressure for the young gun from West Australia with $10 and his dad's recommendation that he needs to be up the front of the field. Hi everybody, welcome to Winton Motor Raceway. It's round 3 of the Shannons Australian Motor Racing Nationals and round 2 of the KUMHO Tyres Australian V8 Touring Car Series. Matt Nolte's alongside me today. It's been a fantastic opening round at Sandown back in March. It's been a long break, but they're back. Jack Perkins leads the standings, but Matt, we need to take his name out of the equation. He's not here this weekend. Liam McAdam officially leads the way, given his strong performance in round 1. But this is open slather here at Winton Motor Raceway.
Yep, sure is. We're on board with McAdam momentarily there as we get the sights around this Winton Motor Raceway for race 2 highlights of the KUMHO Tyres Australian V8 Touring Car Series at Winton this weekend. The championship continues to swell with cars as well.
And this is how they lined up for race 2, which was the finishing order of race 1. And the 18-year-old Liam McAdam led home the 14-year-old Alex Rollo. Their combined ages, sorry Steve Briffa, doesn't even get to how old Briff was in 3rd place, but a great performance by the Poco Commodore to go P3. This was the start. Kostecki was slow away in the car that Ryan Simpson raced last year, and from the 2nd row of the grid, he went backwards. It was a drag race into turn 1. Holden versus Ford. McAdam got through. Another great start from Jim Policina, though, got him to P3.
McAdam was much stronger on cold tyres in the first corner as Steve Briffa began the chase around the twists and turns of Winton Motor Raceway as he put the number 8 machine up for further place there.
3rd in qualifying and 3rd in race 1 for Steve Briffa, having a very good weekend. This was a great fight. They were working hard. Deviak down the inside. Evangelo unfortunately got into the back of Jim Policina. The Mocom Commodore, the ex-Tasman Motorsport car, turned around at turn 3. That resulted in a drive-through penalty for the 77 car.
And it came from a long way back, and Policina was lucky not to go further back into the sand because it's fairly deep here at Winton. And the next Cat car decided to stick down the inside and move up position 2.
And it was a pretty frustrated Jim after that race, given the dramas. This was a fantastic fight, which unfortunately resulted in Evangelo spinning the Cat forward at the switchback at turn 6 and 7. While the midfield sorted themselves out. Heck has a bit of a spin. Yanks Mark Winterbottom, Orcon Falcon from Ford Performance Racing.
This was like, from his perspective, easy to do through that corner when the weight transitions across to the opposite side of the car. The JCH electrical car spun itself off the track. This was towards the end of the race, and a nice 5-car battle formed late in the race here.
Yeah, unfortunately Brendan Strong just out on the exit curb there, and Matt Palmer going past made contact and was turned around. The checkered flag, however, was reserved for Liam McAdam. A close finish, but another victory for the youngster from Eggleston Motorsport. So this is how they finished. McAdam, Rouleau, Briffa 1, 2 and 3. Jake Kostecki 4th. Smurden 5th with Delsma, Hector and Matty Palmer rounding out the top 8. A competitive race with Peter Rouleau and John Vigotis rounding out the top 10. Liam McAdam, though, was a happy winner.
Not a bad way to start the Sunday here at Winton. Pretty happy with that. Managed to get the win off the pole again, so I was pretty happy with that.
Can you clean sweep the weekend? What are you hoping for?
That's definitely the aim. We'll see how we go. I've sort of been conserving tyres in the last couple of races, so hopefully we'll be in a pretty good position for race 3.
So here they go, Matt Nolte, McAdam and Rouleau on the front row. The teenagers, 18 and 14 apiece, line astern with a Holden and a Ford in the KUMHO series. Briffa and Kostecki, another of the teenagers in the field from the second row to deep. It's a competitive field, and it really is an open playing field, and we've seen Rouleau get better and better as the weekend goes on, with the pressure rising on Liam McAdam. They're underway, race 3 of the KUMHO series. On a crisp but sunny afternoon at Winton Motor Raceway, McAdam just gets himself in front into turn 1. Another brilliant start from Jim Policina. The bright orange Commodore goes into 3rd place. He's so good off the line, Matt, and gets himself into contention.
The likes of Evangelou and Jason Heck trying to come through the field. There they are already, taking up about 5 or 6 positions. We jump on board with Alex Rouleau, the young fella, doing a fantastic job here this weekend, making the hard, long trek across the Nullarbor to race here at Winton Motor Raceway.
It's been a great weekend so far for Liam McAdam in that lead car from Eggleston Motorsport, defending championship winners in the KUMHO series with Justin Rugia last year. Delsma, a little bit of contact there with Dev Yackett. Turn 6, and McAdam pressing hard on cold KUMHOs. But he learnt a lot at Sandown in the opening round of the championship when Jack Perkins came along and drove with that team. A real boost for Liam, and that's transitioned over to this weekend at Winton for round 2. Cold tyres, cold KUMHOs for Heck. He's 12th and trying to work his way forward.
Right down to the recently added section of the course. When I say that's about 18 years ago now, as we stay on board with Heck in the number 5, the ex-FPR car. Back to the leaders now. This is McAdam leading through now. You can see the car still squirming around on cold tyres on the opening lap. Don't kid yourself, the sun's out, but it's bitterly cold here today.
Yeah, about 12 degrees ambient at the moment. The track about 15, so not much. And that was Steve Briffa just working his way past Jim Policina, the 2 Commodores duelling away. Former series champion Terry Waihoon watches on from the pit wall here at Winton. Great fight for 3rd place. The leader's still going at it. And then a bottleneck behind. Here's the start.
The initial start wasn't great, was it?
Just a bit of a bog down, but the second phase was pretty good. And he really did race McAdam into turn 1. Got to imagine if he had a better jump, he might have got there first.
McAdam was deeper going into turn 1 anyway, and Rouleau gave him some room on the outside, 3 wide. Have a look at the bump and grind in the middle here. That could have been nasty.
Yeah, Delsma got the old hip and shoulder there, but Jim Policina was coming through whether they liked it or not. He is just the most electric starter in this series. Policina. He's unbelievable how he launches these cars like no one else. If you put him in the V8 supercar field, I think he'd knock a lot of them off. So McAdam continues to lead. Oh, massive fire! McAdam blows up. Rouleau goes through. The leader is going to be out of the motor race.
My goodness, I have never seen a V8 engine blow up like that, especially in this series. And McAdam, the West Coast Meat Solutions entry, is parked in the bunker down there at turn 3. A catastrophic engine failure here.
Catastrophic? Doesn't get much more catastrophic. This is from the guy in second. He didn't get to see the massive fireball that erupted underneath. That is a comprehensive failure, isn't it?
And lucky for Rouleau here, not to get on the oil. He had the great presence of mind to pull out straight away here.
And points to McAdam as well for driving the thing straight off the road. Didn't drop oil and fluids on the racing line. Look at him immediately go to the gravel now and get himself off the road. But that is a fundamental failure in the bottom end of that engine. Massive surprise. Let's have a listen.
Watch the dashboard line up like a Christmas tree. Oh, look underneath.
Yeah, through the shifter. Wow, big fire coming into the cockpit. It went out pretty quickly. It was just a very brief burst of flame, very intense. So McAdam's car cleaned up. Everyone checks up on the restart. Rouleau was pretty slow getting away to the green flag, but he controlled the field. Dramatic turn of events, and we're now left with a 14-year-old leading race 3 of the KUMHO series. And should he hold on, if he can hold on to win the round, the history books get torn up and rewritten completely.
Steve Briffa has other ideas about this. Jason Heck still coming through the field after starting from the rear in this race. So they sweep back down to the long sweeping turn 5 section of Winton Motor Raceway. Not much passing will happen around this portion of the course.
You got to feel sorry for McAdam and the Eggleston Motorsport team. Such a good weekend. He broke the lap record in race 1, and when you're going faster than guys like Justin Ruggier and Ryan Simpson did last year, you know you're going okay because the standard was immensely high. But unfortunately, sometimes reliability just plays a role. There's Evangelou. He's on the comeback trail. Remember, the spin in race 2 dropped him right to the back of the field, but this is a guy with an enormous wealth of experience driving these cars at every level in all 3 tiers of V8 racing. And they've got this ex-FPR car working very, very well. Still running that famous Jason Bright spec cat livery. Rouleau holding on. How about the job from Steve Briffa this weekend? He's been in the wall since his KUMHO Series debut, but the Poco Commodore going very nicely.
John Vagotis also going through in the ex-Brad Jones Aussie Mail car. So they come through to complete another lap now. So young Rollo just starting to inch away. Briffa is hanging with him. Then this battle, no. I was just about to talk about it starting to heat up, and the cork has popped out the champagne bottle and 2 cars go to the infield.
Well, turn 1's a difficult corner to overtake, Matt. There's a big bump and Jake Kostecki's got massive drama. Palmer dive bombs down the inside and spears himself off the road and into the tyre bundle. And Kostecki's got huge damage on the right front corner on the 56 car, so he's out of the game, no doubt. And there's cars scattered around Winton Motor Raceway. How's the drama in this one?
It was lucky. This is the replay coming down, so yeah, Kostecki a long way back, very ambitious pass. And that's why you've seen the damage to the right front of the X888 car here, the young West Aussie, younger brother of Kurt Kostecki, who's driving the Dunlop Series this year.
Turn 1's difficult to do, Matt, because it's actually a quick corner, and Matt Palmer had to take evasive action, went down the inside, not even sure he was aware that Kostecki had damage, and then just basically fired himself off the road.
And a good move, they got McAdam's car out of the way, because if Palmer went off, he could have drilled the back of that car.
So another restart, and how's the 14-year-old having to absorb the pressure, not just leading his first V8 motor race, but having to deal with 2 restarts and an angry pack behind. Tony Evangelou, through all the dramas, got himself to 3rd, could be 2nd, is 2nd, gets past the Poco Commodore. So Evangelou marches forward. Now what can the KG veteran do to the young rookie who leads the way?
Now Evangelou's come from 15th on the grid, now to be in 2nd position. Hell of a drive.
I'm not sure how many cars he's actually passed himself, though, because everyone else has just taken themselves off in front of him.
Natural attrition.
How's the KUMHO Series this year? The intensity has just gone up a notch at Winton Motor Raceway. There's Peter Rouleau.
Oh, heck.
Oh, he's having a heck of a
saying
weekend.
more than heck of that. And
did he get help?
Oh yeah, in a big way. All that hard work from the back of the field comes up donuts.
You have to do something to get the car pointing the right way, and Super Slow-Mo will show it.
Policina.
Oh, Jim's having a tough weekend. That incident early on, nothing of his own doing. Down there at turn 1, very difficult to overtake. It's been really tough, and he got turned around pretty much on someone else's accord in race 2 as well. But he's such a fast, competitive driver, Jim, and such a motor racing fan. Someone just off the road a little bit behind, but Brendan Strong gets past the ex-Lansvale Commodore, and Policina goes through. The famous Tasman livery that the late, great Jason Richards raced. Behind them, Chris Delsma, who's had a massive turn-up in performance this weekend. They've been working very hard on the 21 car, and he's going nicely.
75 of Brendan Strong. So that car, it's got an issue with the rear end of it. We saw some smoke coming off the back of Policina's car. Nonetheless, this young fella on his way perhaps to victory here.
Job.
Could be seeing some history here. We got a spinner at the back. Is that Delsma?
Yeah, what a shame. From a top 5 potential position, here's John Vagotis and Matt Palmer. Matt's still working hard to put his 2nd car on the racetrack, and I suspect it might be on the road a little bit later on the next round for the KUMHO Series up at Queensland Raceway in the first week of August with the Shannons Nationals. Final lap. What about the job this kid's done? 14 years old. He turns 15 on the Monday after this round. What a birthday present. And what a decision to run 2 cars this weekend, because his dad's a couple of cars further back in the queue, and he's going to be able to share in a history-making weekend.
And Performance West have got on board with this team, their massive showroom in the eastern suburbs of Perth in a suburb called Belmont. They'll be happy they've got behind this two-car combination because this young fella is only a half a lap from home.
Well, forget the main game, forget the development series, rip up every record book you've got because touring car racing in Australia's history book is about to be rewritten. The 14-year-old from WA has got one more corner to negotiate and he will become the youngest ever winner of an Australian touring car race at any level. Amazing performance, Alex Rouleau. He wins the race, he wins the round. Amazing.
And the margin 3 seconds at the end. Will we hear some excitement? Yep, thumbs up.
He's a pretty level-headed 14-year-old, isn't he? Well done, Tony Evangelo, 15th to 2nd. Steve Briffa on the podium, and a round podium for him as well. Devyak, really good drive to 4th, and Smurden rounding out the top 5. But the big story is the 14-year-old. Remember this name, Alex Rouleau.
Yeah, we had good pace over the whole weekend. Obviously, close battling with Liam. He got unlucky in the last race, and yeah, we took advantage of that, and yeah, came with a round win. I turned 15 tomorrow, so good day to end my last day being 14.
Mate, it's absolutely insane. I've got a son that is much younger than these guys, and as someone put to me on the weekend on Facebook that the 3 combined ages of the young guys, they're actually, I'm still older than those boys. They're doing a sensational job. They're so fast.
Yeah, we certainly started out well and proved that we sort of had the pace and got it up over those other guys in the first couple of races, and we were looking pretty good for the last race there. But you know, unfortunately, stuff happens in motorsport.
Yeah, well done to Alex Rouleau, the round winner here. There's the championship after the second round here. Liam McAdam, 202 points there. Policina in second. Briffa is third. Chris Smurden hanging tough there in 4th position. Rouleau right into it now, back to Perkins, Palmer and Deviak. Well, the top 3 and senior gentleman perhaps in the middle there, Krause.
Amazing weekend of racing in the KUMHO series, but Liam McAdam, it's not all bad. He might have lost the round, but he now leads the KUMHO series going into the second half of the year.